Hello everyone and welcome to another video of Naval Action. Today we are going to see a battle with a Trincomalee. In a battle we fought in PvP, well, we are 3 Trincomalees, Snow and a Brig versus 4 Trincomalees. So we were actually pretty outgunned here. We had an enemy with a larger ship. Of course we had more ships, but 2 of them simply are no match for the Trincomalee. So in this situation, you have to realize that staying at a distance doesn't really work well. And this is something I've seen a lot of people doing. When they go against a larger ship, I have even seen people in a Trincomalee staying off a distance of a victory because they fear the victory so much they don't want to close in. But the problem is you have to think of your options, your tactical options. Of course, going close to a victory is not really something you will do happily, but sometimes it's the only way you are going to win, because at a range you can't penetrate the sides of a victory, at least with a frigate, and you really need to close in and try to win rear shots and try to outmaneuver the ship. It's not going to be an easy win, it's not going to be an instant win, you are not going to sink the first rate very soon, but it's your only option, and you have to do it. And I've seen that a lot. I've seen that attitude from people who simply think that it's okay to stay at a range fighting chainshot, maybe. Let me tell you, yeah, chainshot kind of helps reducing the speed of a first rate and hitting somewhat its maneuverability. But in the long term, it's not really big deal. I mean, a first rate, even with some sails pretty destroyed, if the driver knows what he's doing, what he cares about is about his armor. Personally, you know, you have 3 repair kits for any given battle. I don't use any repair kits to repair my sails unless I have lost a mast. And even then, sometimes I don't do it. Depends on the mast. If the mast I lose is the foremast, it's a mast. You have to repair it. But if it's the main mast or the missing mast, I don't care that much. If it's 2 masts, you have to put one of them up again. There's no option about that. But really, your main concern is your armor, because losing your sails is not going to sink you. Losing your armor is. So yeah, fighting chainshot at first rate really doesn't help a lot. Let me tell you that. Of course, with some ships you really have no other option. If you are in a brig, really, yeah, yes, fighting chainshot is the best thing you can do, because you have 6-pounders, and even on rakes and fighting from the rear, they are not going to do a whole lot of damage. But if you are in a surprise, in a frigate or something bigger, you have to close in. And this is a good instance. We have no victory in the other team, but we are outgunned. We have 4 enemies versus 3 frigates on our own. And if we stay at a distance, we are going to get outgunned, because they have more big guns than we do. So our only option is to come in close and do a close quarter battle, where if we maneuver well, we can destroy their cohesion while keeping ourselves more or less together. And you're going to see that it really worked really well. Of course, this is a really risky tactic as well, because while you are coming in, you are giving them free shots. They might hit you in the bow, you might get raked from the bow, which is bad, but it's not as bad as being raked from behind. And you might even lose a bowsprit, sometimes you even lose a mast, but you have to close in. I mean, the only way to succeed in a game like this is coming close, outmaneuver the enemy, outsmart them, and deny them the advantage, because at close range, the 6-pounders of our small ships will do some damage, while at long range, against such big hulls, they won't. So, well, we are about to cut the enemy formation here. We are going to divide them. We are going to leave 3 of them in our right side and 1 of them in the port side. And now I'm maneuvering. As you can see, I'm not following the next guy in front, because he's going to unleash a very powerful broadside on the starboard side of that Trincomalee. And I want to do the same to support him. Also, I have a perfect wrecking position, so I take aim very quickly, and yeah, well, you can see that this is a brutal hit. Just one broadside has brought him to his knees. And that guy right now is out of the fight. That guy right now is not thinking about how to fight. He's thinking about how to get away. Because he's received such a mauling that the only way he's going to survive is to run away and repair. So for the time being, we have kind of put one of them out of the fight, divided them in two groups, one of them from behind, the other from the front. The front ones are not in a good position to fight back. The guy in behind is going to be left behind, because if he wants to shoot at us, he has to point the broadside at us, and he won't be coming closer. So right now we have essentially neutralized their numeric advantage. You can see they have 3 frigates there, we are 3 frigates coming in, and our small ships are also coming. So we actually hold a local superiority, even while in the whole battle we are in inferiority. And yeah, well, that guy out there is fighting at us, he's being a nuisance, but the battle is decided here. If that guy doesn't close in, we are going to win this, and he won't close in, and we are going to win this. Spoiler alert. So, well, I put myself in a good maneuver. I know that the guy we damaged before is the starboard side, which is hurting. So, now it's showing his port side. So instead of fighting at the guy who's already panicking, I'm going to try to make this guy panic. So it will be 2 of them panicking instead of just 1. So I put up another massive rake. Not as damaging as the previous one, because I was a little bit longer, and I think the broadside was a little bit small. And now as I maneuver, I casually stroll by this guy, and I put a brutal broadside on him as well. Now, I slow down here. I use manual sails to increase my turn rate at the maximum. You can see I'm all the time in sailing mode. I don't really change to gunnery a lot, because my focus right now is to win double broadsides. So I maneuver close to him to open my other broadside. However, the other broadside is still not ready. So instead of keeping the rake maneuver, I turn again, come behind him, and unleash my front chasers with chainshot to, well, put a little bit of hard on his sails and slow him down a little bit. Now, in this situation, you can see those 3 guys are panicking. They simply are panicking. They don't know what to do. We have surprised them. We have got them totally off guard. So my port side is almost reloaded. We have a pretty good shot here. Little bit far from for the double shot, but if I really try to increase my heal to the top, and you can see me neutralizing the sails here to correct the healing, and it works fine, and I get another massacre broadside on him. Of course, he's going to repair, he's not going to sink yet, but that guy is yet another guy who right now is thinking more about running away than about actually fighting. And that's how you really beat down superior enemies. You make them panic. You erase individual units out of the fight to level out the playfield. On the right side, I don't have a shot. I have double shot on both of them, and I don't want to change to normal shot. And right now I'm deciding we are 3 versus 3 here. We have our light ships also as well around here. So probably a good idea is to single out that guy, leave the whole team behind, and let them keep on the fight versus those guys. This other, the one that I'm starting to chase right now, is so damaged, is so panicking that I really want to put him out of the fight for good. I don't want him to feel safe. So I put yet another chainshot chaser shot here. Is actually upon reviewing this, I should have maybe changes to standard shot on the starboard side, because while I'm chasing this guy, and actually now I notice we have another one chasing here, but it's too late to return, so I keep this track. But here, as I try to close with this Trincomalee, I could have shot some shots at the guys that I had on my starboard, but of course double shot doesn't let you do it. Now he's slowing down, he's turning to win a shot versus the guy, the friendly we saw before. So I'm going to maneuver, open my guns, and I rush the shot a little bit, and I fire past him. Now usually when I do this kind of maneuvers, I do a lot of passing broadsides, but that I mean I'm used to, well, while I'm maneuvering and as I'm turning, to fire a broadside while I turn. But the problem here is that first I shot too late, and second I was turning too fast. I should have stabilize the ship a little bit. So well, that was a wasted broadside, but we still have this guy's rear, and he's in a really bad spot because he has one friendly to his port and he has me behind. He has the wind coming from the left, and so he can't turn that way. If he turns right, he's going to give me a perfect rake. So what I do here is why, well, this is one of the maneuvers I like to do the most. Approach the wind, put the nose into it, set the sails as if I'm going to tack against the wind, but actually not tacking at all. So you can see I'm heading directly into the wind. I get a perfect raking shot, which has really hurt that guy. And now I reverse my yards, I reverse my sails, and I will fall out of the wind, still keeping my position on the rear of this guy. If you, I mean, that's one of the things of this game. I see a lot of people playing PvE and jumping into games with a victory, and not knowing even where the wind is coming. And I'm not making this up. I have seen victories in PvP in their first PvP game almost, and they didn't even know where the wind was coming from. I'm not going to say they didn't even know how to use manual sails either, because of course they didn't. That's doing a huge disservice to yourself and your team, because if you are in a big ship, your team is reliant on you to do a good job. If you are in a victory and you do nothing, your team is going to be massacred, and then the other teammates you have are going to pay for the price for you not being skilled enough. Maneuvers as the one you have seen right now, which I love to do because it's so fun, you only do when you really understand the mechanics of this game, and you only are going to get the mechanics of this game when you are trying them against enemy players, because the bots are not really a challenge. They are always going in a straight direction. Sometimes they turn a little bit, but they don't use repairs. They actually use repairs, but they use them as soon as they get damaged. So they are as good as not getting them, not having repairs at all. They simply don't challenge you. They don't require you to maneuver. They don't require you to attack against the wind, to do complicated maneuvers. Anyway, yeah, well, the lesson is simply, yeah, PvE is good for learning the basic maneuvers of your ship, but if you want to learn combat, PvP. There's no other way. And here we see, well, we have massacred the starboard side of that guy. Now I'm watching him carefully because I want to see if he pops a repair, and he does. So at this stage I thought this guy would probably be out of repairs, but no, not yet. So well, I maneuver to keep my position behind him, and now he's heading back to the fight, which I find appropriate because I'm going too much away from the main fight, and I want to return there, of course, because I want my presence to be felt. Now the fight is going really well. You can see we have already sunk a Trincomalee. This other dude is essentially out of the fight. One more broadside on his starboard and he's as good as gone. We are going to win this, and they have the superiority in the setup. They have 4 Trincomalees, we have 3, and our small ships, they are not unequal for a Trincomalee, unless you allow them to come very close where the double shot actually can damage the hull of the big frigates. So we are coming back to the fight. I'm closing in with this Trincomalee because he has damage of rigging. My rigging is almost intact, so he's not going to get away. I'm winning on him steadily, not really fast enough, but I'm winning on him. And this pursuit is also putting me in a perfect situation to return to the fight. Now, here you can see something. Another thing I see a lot of players doing is target focusing. I mean, right now I obviously have a target which is very tasty. This guy I have stripped of his armor is really close to sinking. But instead of focusing on him, I notice a very good opportunity to finish off this other Trincomalee. He's heading my way, and he's in an ideal spot for me to come this way and leave a brutal close range double broadside. Now I will slow down significantly, maneuver very close to turn. Yeah, well, he has put some good shots on me, no big deal, was to be expected. But now I come with the other side towards him, and this broadside essentially kills him. This is another Sanctum Comedy now. So I could have kept my attention on the guy I was going for, because he was very weakened. But instead, keep an open mind. I mean, keep always look at your surroundings, know what's going on. And as you can see, I know this guy behind is already dead. There's no sense in putting another broadside on him. I'm going to keep out the pursuit on the other ones. Of course, he's going to get another shot at me, but I'm not worried. I have my 3 repairs. If he gets a shot at me, I will repair, and that will be it. So yeah, well, he gets a broadside on me. That's okay. I pop a repair, and that's perfect. Instead of keeping myself tied to a guy which I know is going to sink, because that guy is impossible for him to survive. And now we can see that I'm coming close to another Trincomalee, and I'm going to open my starboard broadside, take a ranging shot, and well, those were pretty strong hits. Mostly because most of them were on the waterline. That guy must have some serious leaks. And well, time for me to comfort this guy. Shot a little bit to try to get his spanker. I didn't, but well, was the most intact official, so why not trying? He unleashes a broadside on me, raking shot from the bow. Not, as I said, from the bow they are damaging, but not that damaging compared with the rear. Now I come and I go past him because I know his damaged part is the starboard side. I don't go for a raking shot here. As you can see, I let him pass. I want to put my damage on the starboard side, which was already damaged, and I'm guaranteeing this guy is going to sink. Just to make it sure, because I don't know if he still has another repair, and that would be really a pain in the ass, because this guy should go down. Just to certify that he's going to go down, I maneuver, put my nose against the wind in a very similar way as you saw me doing before. And I'm going to unleash a final broadside on his starboard side. Now I'm actually pursuing his rear to keep a front profile, because I want to ensure that my hits are going to be on the starboard side. So once he levels up, when he stops turning, which he has done right now, I know I can come in and close on that starboard side and finish it off. He didn't have any repairs left, but this is going to accelerate his sinking. And meanwhile, behind us, everything else is sunk. That guy is the last one alive. Well, at least he's the only one that is going to last for longer than a few seconds. And that's it. That's mostly the game. As you can see, it's all about situational awareness, thinking about the correct tactic to pull, because I see a lot of people doing it wrong. I mean, some people just rush for the sake of rushing. Some people just put the nose towards the enemy just because they want to put the nose against the enemy, and to come close and to start turning at close range and leasing double broadsides. Well, that works if the setup is correct for that. In this situation, this was correct. But had we been the other team, we should have been focused on keeping our distance instead of closing in. And I see a lot of people rushing for the wrong reasons, and I see a lot of people refusing to rush when they should. So there's a place, and there are battles where rushing is correct, there are battles where rushing is incorrect. You have to look at the lineup and figure out where is my team stronger. Close range, long range. If it's at long range, try to stand at standoff distance. If it's it is at close range, just go, as Nelson said, forget about maneuvers, just go for them. And this was a pretty nice victory. The final tally, as you can see, is 1 Trincomalee and 1 brig lost for 4 Trincomalees. There's no contest. We totally destroyed the enemy team, and that's only because we picked the right tactic. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this battle. I hope you had fun watching this. I hope you, well, learned something, as always. In any case, I thank you a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you later.
a little easy. Stress from the world outside. Every longer will be alright.